Hello, hello. It is March 6th, 2023. I'm your host, FINGY, and you are watching Audiotree Live. If you have the kindness in your heart, please subscribe to our channel. Stay in the loop with all the cool sessions we got set up for you coming up. But without further ado, I am so stoked to introduce, all the way from Singapore, some of the coolest kids arguably I've ever met. This is Sobs. You guys are ready? Take it away.
Fly
Resort by Sobs. This is Sobs' first time on the Audiotree studio platform, but we do have a familiar face in the building. We have Jared over here who did a Subsonic Eye set for our Audiotree Worldwide scenario.
What up?
What's up? Give it up for Jared. Yeah. I want to learn more about that and kind of how that came to be.
Subsonic Eye?
Yeah, well, more so how you guys got involved with the Audiotree Worldwide, but also Subsonic Eye in general.
I mean, I know all of us have been like watching Audiotree sessions for years. So it's always been a dream. We've always wanted to do it, but I mean, with COVID and everything, we couldn't tour. So we saw that you guys were doing like worldwide stuff, submissions, and gave it a shot and worked out.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
yeah.
And I'm glad that we are here with Sobs today.
Yeah.
The Subsonic Eye session was really cool. We shot it in like the studio where our bassist Bo works at. Really cool stuff. Really cool video.
Yeah.
Good job, Jared.
Good job.
And you were also
Good
saying,
job.
so we have Sobs
job.
right now, but we also have additional instrumentalists, and I have been informed that all of you guys are in your own bands. I'd love to take a moment to maybe highlight those, talk about those bands a little bit.
Yeah, so for me, I guess I'm in Sobs, and I also have a solo project called Cayenne, and Ralph is Sobs. Jared is Subsonic Eye and Sobs. Sophie is in a band called Blush. Bo is in a band called Cosmic Child, and Sean has played for so many bands.
It's like Monster Cat, who toured in the US before a while ago. Amazing. And there's also this other band called Lost Weekend that he played for a little while that I think Jared and I grew up on.
I mean, we've seen them live.
Yeah.
I've seen Sean play drums like since I was a kid, pretty much.
Yeah.
Stop! He said, play in my band one day. He said, you got it.
That was all you.
Yeah, and look at that. That's a big feeling. That's awesome. Have you guys ever done like a collab show where you've done like all of your bands in one set?
Way too many times.
Way too many
I know
times.
we have done that before. Yeah.
Okay, and how do those shows usually go? Is it weird like hopping from one band to another band?
I think we're all in multiple bands.
It's incestuous, so that's what it is.
It's just how it goes. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. And I was wondering also what the scene is like. Chicago has a pretty big DIY scene, and it's really a thing out here. But I wanted to kind of know more about the community in Singapore and what the culture's like out there.
I guess it is very different, right? Music scenes in Asia and in the US. For example, like in live shows in Singapore, like our venues have backline usually. So that was something new that we had to deal with, bringing along, like finding amps and all that here. But in general, the scenes, I think everyone likes music in Singapore as well. I know when Subsonic Eye plays shows, like people go insane, like crowd surfing and all.
And the band Forest.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
and the band
Forest.
Forest as well, which is probably some of our favorite bands from Singapore, who are also doing a US tour coming up soon. Great emo math rock stuff. But aside from that, I think Singapore is a really underrated scene that people should definitely check out.
Hell yeah, very cool. Okay, well, you hear that? If you guys are going to Singapore, check out a show. And if you're not checking out a show in Singapore, what are you doing? Anyways, let's get into the next song.
be friends, but don't let me down. Don't let me down, 'cause I might lose my way. So many things I can't remember. So many things I care and proceeding amounts. Sums of how I feel about myself. Shaking of all the bad nights that come with you. How did the echoes in my head so out of tune? What are your fences up against? Castles have turned into sand, but don't let me down. Don't let me down, 'cause I've lost my way. How many blunders does it take for the sake of yourself to finally admit your mistake? Gosh, you just don't seem to roll that way. I see you clinging tightly to a strap, still holding hands through a Catflap. Does it not make you question the times you lost yourself? Trust me, it's more than any. I'm not trying to be fancy, but I'm still shaking of all the bad nights that come with you. How did the echoes in my head so out of tune? Shaking of all the bad nights that come with you. How did the echoes in my head so out of tune? I see you clinging tightly to the strap, and we're still holding hands through a Catflap.
You're watching Audiotree Live. This is Sobs. So Sean, you were saying how you saw little baby Jared up in the front when you were joining with some other bands. It made me wonder how not only these guys came to be, but also the entire band, how you guys all met up and became a unit.
So it started from when I was posting on this music forum. It's called soft.com. It's like the Craigslist of music in Singapore. So I was just like posting, looking for a band or a project, like, to form, And then Jared responded. And yeah, so we started another project initially that was more like electronic pop. And then we pivoted to indie rock, I guess, through like one song, which is the song Girl. And then, Jared, you want to continue? How you met Rob?
I guess we sort of knew each other online, kind of, sort of.
Yeah, but we met each other for the first time, like queuing up for churches, right?
Yeah, at the Churches concert.
Yeah.
Hey.
Shout out to churches.
The Churches
It was like
concert.
5 or 6 hours before the concert, right?
Yeah. Big fans.
Big fans.
Oh,
But yeah, I think gotta give thanks to the internet for making any of this happen.
yeah.
Shout outs to internet.
Yeah.
Yes.
And when we went through like many drummers and before we found Sean. So when I reached out to Sean and I told them, they were like, "Oh my god,
Yeah,
it's
I
Sean!"
freaked
Like,
out. I
they
freaked
were
out.
so like anxious on the first jam.
That's
It's like-
so cute. So you guys literally, like, through the power of music and the internet, linked up and did your thing. Wow, to the digital age, that's insane. And you were saying also how you're kind of finding your feeding in the genres you were making when you first started. And you guys say that you guys are, quote, the sound of pop music. But I was wondering if you guys have ever considered dabbling in any other genres, and whether that be bossa nova, whether it be metal.
I feel like pop can exist in every genre.
Ooh,
Nice.
Yeah,
hot
pop is like an
take,
element
hot
for me.
take.
So I speed run through all the genres, I feel, in my own projects and stuff. But pop is like the main element that stays constant.
And what elements specifically do you think is highlighted in pop that you can see in notes throughout everything? Is it more so the vocals, drums, energy?
Honestly, melody. like,
Catchy.
just catchy
Anything
stuff.
that's catchy. Yeah, metal can be catchy as well.
Real, super real. So you guys think that pop is mostly definitive by the catchiness of it, and that kind of plays into what
And I guess
Accessibility, I guess.
enjoyable.
Enjoyable accessibility. Like, you know, we have a listener that tells us, oh, we don't listen to your music normally, but I like it. It's like, I guess it's accessible for them.
Yeah. That's funny you say that, because I also don't. Well, no, I do listen to pop music, but I guess when I first listened to your guys' music, it wasn't necessarily something I'd seek out. And then when I heard about you guys, I was sitting on the green line listening to air guitar and Telltale Signs and like watching the river go by, and I was like, wow, this is music I really like. So
Hell yeah.
another person to tell you that. Do you guys have any dream collaborations with somebody outside the genre that you think would be a really cool fusion with you guys?
Not really, but I think we're very lucky to have the chance to meet and like work with a lot of bands and artists that we like all around the world. Like yesterday's show in Chicago, we played with a band called Smut.
Yeah.
Great band, huge honor.
Yeah, and Smut's actually gonna be here in a couple days filming
Nice.
that thing.
Nice,
So
nice.
look at that. That's so cool. No, but I think there's also something to be said about having such a cohesion in a unit. It doesn't really make you necessarily yearn to collaborate with other people when you already have something.
I have so many
strong
dream
going.
collabs though.
Oh yeah, well let's hear a couple.
AG Cook remix, Sobs remix, please.
Whoa.
Yes,
AG Cook, if you're watching this,
Hi, AG.
Top in. Whoa. That'd be
someone
kind
send
of
this to AG Cook, thanks.
Yeah, wow. That's insane. No, that's really cool. AG Cook would be really, really, really fun.
Yeah, I guess not so much collaborations, but we always love like playing with like bands of
Yeah,
like,
like meeting like-minded people and people that like pop
yeah,
as much as we
all
do.
over the region, everywhere.
Yeah. Super
Love it.
cool.
Yeah.
And you guys said you enjoyed the show yesterday, which is really nice. I was wondering, what are some of the moments, such as potentially that show or any other show while you guys have been on tour, that have not only like glued you guys together, but have also made you have that moment where you're like, wow, I'm really pursuing this? Because we all know art kind of, there is no track. You just kind of go and you go as far as you can go. What were some of the moments where you're like, this is really happening? I'm not just in my bedroom.
I guess we kind of always give this answer, but it's still true. Like the second ever show we played outside of Singapore was in the Philippines.
Yeah.
At this venue called Mo's, kind of a like dingy dive bar sort of basement. But for some reason, like how many people showed up? Like way more people than we thought were gonna be there.
Yeah.
Showed up and was singing.
But
along to
way more
everything.
people are showing up for us in the US than we thought it would
Yeah,
be
yeah,
as well,
so I guess-
which is
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
I
And also-
do want to ask about that. Like, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Celine was telling me earlier that this is you guys' first U.S. leg.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what has that been, coming to like the entertainment capital of the world? How has that resonated? Well, actually, is it? Question mark. No, according to people that actually don't maybe listen to music, but for viewers' sake, what is it? Have you had any moments specifically in America where you've been like, wow, this is a next level? Or have you had those moments?
I mean, honestly, being here,
hell yeah.
being here is one of them.
Yeah, I mean, I think coming to the US is something that, like playing in the US is something that we wanted to do, like almost from day one, right? Like when we started out the band, we were listening to a lot of American indie, right? I think that time we were listening to a lot of like Frankie Cosmos,
J-Som.
J-Som,
Like,
stuff like that.
crying.
Yeah, and it was
Always.
crazy,
So good.
and like
Always, yeah.
yes, always, and like the first booking we had for this tour was noise pop in SF, and like it was crazy because like early on we saw like the bands that we love play noise pop, and it's just very surreal.
Yeah, so being on like the same festival or show as people you've seen before is definitely a moment. And I saw you did a little to the entertainment capital of the world. No, but let's
camera.
expand. Let's expand.
Oh,
what
no.
do you have opinions on other countries that you think have some hot
No,
fire
I
going
mean,
on right now?
Everywhere.
Everywhere,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Indonesia is a
Yeah.
great place for indie pop fans. Labels like Colibri Records that we release on as well. Even smaller like cities in Indonesia like Bandung have very, very strong indie pop scenes. And of course, I think Japan as well, great place. We've made very good friends there, like for Tracy Hyde, played very fun shows. Yeah, and we're going back there soon, I think.
I think the music scenes in those countries are massive, but they don't have a platform like Audiotree that will broadcast it to the rest of the world kind of thing. So it's hard to reach, the wider audiences.
So it's everyone's obligation to check it out themselves.
Yeah, no, literally. Raphael said, do your research, okay?
Yeah, do your homework.
Yeah,
But-
and this guy does.
But being here is still like unreal because all the bands that I was so inspired by at the beginning, it's like they're mostly American bands. So yeah.
But I think you touched on something important, like the platform and how we were talking about earlier with just pop music being accessible just to the ear. America's maybe less, our artistic output maybe isn't as top tier, but the fact that there is
It
like
is top
larger.
tier. It is top tier.
Top-
Freedom top tier to us.
I'm not gonna. I can't slander America, man. I just make beats too, so I don't know. But anyways, I'll quit gabbing. Y'all can roll into your next one whenever you're ready.
Thank you so much.
Caught up in feeling, feel so real I can't be dreaming about where we are. I'm tired where we are. Caught up in feeling, feel so real and don't wanna hurt you.
Thank you, Sobs, so much for being here. Thank you to our production crew for making these rock stars shine. And thank you guys so much for watching. If you're watching the live stream, this is our first one of the year. What's up? And if you're tuning in later, that's all good too. Please, I urge you to subscribe. We have so much insane talent that comes through the doors like every day. And I'd be pretty bummed for you if you missed out on that. So, my name's FINGY. Thank you for watching Audiotree Live. We'll see you next time.